You're listening to another episode of the Just Go Bike podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it, with tales from all over the nation. Come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile. Well, hey, AP, how's it going?
Hey, Murph, it is fantastic over here in the Ragbri office.
Good. And here in Iowa, at least last night, the night before we recorded this, we got some really significant, like slushy, good snow. And I don't know if you went out in it, but I had a blast fat biking in the dark and in the snow last night.
Well, you're crazy. I was trying to forget that it even existed. No, just kidding. I'm hoping to go cross-country skiing tonight, but I haven't been out yet except to shovel a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up finding some nice bike trails, so we weren't in the way of any sliding cars. And Oh my gosh, it was so peaceful. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was really gorgeous last night. I was out walking the dogs. I guess I was out in it walking the dogs.
Okay,
and it was like being in a snow globe.
Yeah. And like fat biking for me and just being out in the snow kind of makes me think about being a kid again, because it's like such like a, well, except when you're shoveling. So when you're out just having fun, you kind of think about that. And that is a really good segue into today's interview, which is with Jeff, the executive director of the Dream Team. So,
oh, hooray.
I know. So let's take just a few minutes. First, I'm going to ask you, do you have any personal memories of biking as a kid?
Well, I mean, of course, I rode my first Ragbri when I was 12, so
Wow.
I have a lot of memories of that and the pain involved. But one of my more positive memories as a kid was we would stop always when my brother got old enough to join us, actually both brothers, but one of them in particular, we would go to the Pancake Man or Chris Cakes every day, and his goal was to eat as many pancakes as possible.
Oh, geez.
And one day, an adult biker noticed that my brother was doing this, so they had an unofficial eating competition. And I believe that day my brother ate 32 pancakes.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, he ate a lot of pancakes, and the other guy ended up beating him. The man, I don't know what he looks like. He was wearing a black jersey with skulls on it. That's all I remember. But my brother spent a lot of time in the ditch after that.
Well, I was going to say, was your mom like, come on, this is
no,
she's
like, great calories for a growing boy. You know what? And that is it. I'm actually not even really a biking story, and it's about my brother. So sorry about that. But
yeah. Well, my only memory of you as a child on a bike is a photograph that you put up on social media occasionally. And it's like you on this old school bike, and you look like you're on a mission to go as fast as possible. You might have even been maybe trying to do a wheelie. I don't know. It's the cutest picture.
Yeah, I used to love that bike. It was a sparkly purple Schwinn, and it was my first full-size bike. So that's why I look so tiny riding it. But if you look at the picture, I'm wearing sandals with socks and bracelets. I'm like, oh, man. I'm owning it. My parents live on a large hill, so I was just really, really enjoying that in that picture.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I would say I don't remember learning how to ride a bike, but I do remember my first significant bike, which was called the Miss America. It was, I believe, I think it was a Schwinn, but it came from Sears. They used to make bikes.
Oh, yeah.
And it was literally red, white, and blue. And the fender, I'm sorry, what would it be called? The chain cover actually says Miss America on the side. So, banana seat, big ape hanger. Is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ape hanger, handlebars. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I also do remember riding at my grandma's house on the sidewalk and somehow hitting, where the sidewalk was uneven and going head over first, flipping my bike and landing square on my forehead. And I left my bike and I went running to my grandma's house. And I remember with my fist holding the big knot that was on my head. So it was that big. And then we went, I was devastated, my grandma put ice on it and a Band-Aid. I think I was fine. And we walked back to go get my bike, and there was literally a trail of blood the whole way. I know.
I don't know if that's necessarily like a fun biking memory.
I know. Thank goodness that I didn't like take that as I'm never biking again. My life
Well,
would be
there you
so
go.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's part of biking. You just kind of persevere and keep going during
Right.
adversity or
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah. And it goes along with it is like the freedom of biking. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm probably I know I'm much older than you, but I remember being allowed to ride around the block, of course, like at my grandma's, like I mentioned. And
Hmm.
it was liberating. I could be out of her eyesight as long as I stayed on the sidewalk and went around, a true block. It was perfect. And then I do remember as I got older that it was no big deal to hop on my bike after breakfast and be nowhere near home until it was dinner time. Like,
Aw.
you know what I mean? That was just the way life was then. My mom would just be like,
Yeah.
"Did you have a good day on your bike?" I mean, who knows where I was? I was,
Yeah.
on the bike trails. I was at the mall. I highly doubt I had a lock or a helmet to my name, but I had a blast. How about you?
What's really funny though is that you're exactly the same today, except you have a helmet and we can track you and find my friends. She's
Okay.
just out there
That is
riding.
that is so true. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Probably my favorite memory of having freedom on the bike, or one of my many favorite memories, is riding on the Cedar Valley Nature Trail with my parents and my brothers.
Mm.
And we would, once a year, we would go and we would ride 50 miles from Cedar Rapids to Cedar Falls. And then the next day we would ride back. And on one of those trips, I was the eldest kid. So I was like, all right, I'm going to let it fly. I'm going to let loose. I'm going to bike as fast as I can. And I'm going to drop these suckers being my family.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm flying. I feel like I'm like all by myself and like really owning this. And I turn around and my dad is immediately behind me.
Oh, because he
So
knew.
I felt the moment of freedom, but I also realized, people who are twice as big as you can just ride faster than you.
Right.
So
Well, and
period. So
I'm sure he sensed that you were ready to make your move, and he's all like, "Not on my clock, young lady."
yeah. Well, it's probably for the best because it going into Cedar Rapids is pretty busy. So busy
Yeah.
traffic. So
You're right. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that like I mentioned at the beginning, today's interview is with Jeff. He's the executive director, actually the new executive director for the Dream
Yes.
Team.
Yeah.
And of course, we've done several episodes about the Dream Team with various, we interviewed some of the kids, we interviewed the previous executive director. I just love hearing about the organization and all that they do.
Absolutely. They just do so much good for the cycling community and for the kids that are a part of the organization. And I'm looking forward to get to know Jeff a little bit better
Yeah, he's
through the
cool. I
podcast.
got to ride with him because, of course, before he was executive director, he was a volunteer with the organization. So I got to ride with him a couple times last year. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And of course, the Dream Team teaches youth how to properly ride a bike, but man, like think of the physical and mental health benefits as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a special opportunity for the kids to have, and such a important part of, I don't know, the bike community of the future.
Yeah, I mean the community aspect to me is golden. Like as an awkward teenager, man, it's so valuable to have.
Yeah, yeah. And the whole incentive of if you get to ride all of Ragbri, you get to keep the bike that you've been training on.
Yeah.
I mean, that really adds another level to the experience where I probably could have used that encouragement as a kid. So,
Right, I know. So Jeff's going to tell us all about it, but I think before we start this interview, you were telling me a few things before we started recording that I think you want to share.
oh, yes, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Brenda Hayes from Teen Cuisine. I know she's a podcast listener, so I just wanted to say
Hi, Brenda.
hello. And I can't wait to try some excellent Ragbri cuisine.
Mm, yum.
And while we're doing shout outs,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi to Tony Recker, who has messaged us on Facebook saying, "What's up?" And he's a podcast listener. So, hey,
Yay.
Tony, I hope you're getting some bike rides out there, and maybe we'll see you on the trail sometime when there's less
Awesome.
snow.
Yes, yes. All right, well, let's take a listen to Jeff and the Dream Team. All right, well, I'd like to welcome Jeff to the podcast. Hey, Jeff.
Hey Murph, how you doing?
Good. And Jeff is the executive director of the Dream Team. And we've had someone from the Dream Team on multiple times to talk about this amazing organization. And it's really nice to have the new executive director, right, Jeff?
That is right. I started September 1st of last year. Replaced Brian O'Leary.
Oh, yes. And we've had Brian on us on a couple times. So it's going to be nice to hear more about the Dream Team and hear you, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on. I got a real big passion for this team and really love the youth and the mentors. So I am really excited to talk to you about the Dream Team and what it means to me and this biking community that we all like.
Yes, I also have a really soft spot for the Dream Team. I was lucky enough to get to ride a couple times with the crew last year and you
Yeah.
and just knowing the great connection that the Dream Team has with Ragbri, which I don't want to spoil that. So let's start out by, can you give the listeners just kind of an overview of what the heck the Dream Team actually is?
Yeah. The Dream Team, we're a five month mentorship program. Um, we work with 40 to 50 youth throughout a 5 month time period, and we help them develop a positive approach, or to kind of teach them some life lessons just by using the power of a bicycle.
Mm,
So, life one pedal at a time is kind of what we do. So I want to make sure that we all know that even though we ride a bike and we got 50 youth out there on a bike, that we're not a bike club.
mm.
We're really a mentorship program helping the youth develop a positive approach. So we just happen to use the bike. The, the bicycle, as you can't go anywhere if you don't pedal it yourself.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So the youth, they have to get up on that bike no matter kind of what the weather's like out there, whether it's hot, cold, tired or not, and they have to go from point A to point B on their own, just kind of like what you do in life. You got to just kind of go through it. But also the bike it's a team sport, and that's what Dream Team tries to do, is we try to develop a family around these youth. And when that hill looks too big to go over, or it's cold or it's hot, you got a family around you, someone that gives you some positive encouragement. Just like
Hmm.
in life, you need those people in there to help you through some of life's challenges, and to develop a positive approach to it. So
Hmm.
that is really cool to see that happen.
Yeah, and to connect with that, I have both a memory and also a memorable moment that I'll share
Oh,
really quick. So the
sure.
memory is when I got to ride with you all last, I guess it was spring before Ragbri, and I happened to pick the week when you guys were doing practicing hills, which
Yeah.
nobody told me that ahead of time. But you know what? I went and it was awesome, and we were kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I wasn't familiar with the surroundings, but I kind of kept seeing, like, wait a minute, I think we were already on this road. And it was pretty fun. And I was biking with a young girl who was a little bit wiggly on her bike, and her teammates kept saying, hey, make sure you keep your head moving forward. Always look forward, don't look around at us. And it was so neat to see other kids training this girl. And then after we got done riding, I found out that this is the first time that she's ever been on a bike in her life. Like, at this point, she went from not even knowing how to bicycle to going up these hills. It was just crazy.
Yeah. Last year it was wild. We had, uh, I bet, 8 youth that didn't know how to ride a bike or
Hmm.
had very limited experience on a bike. And we started with them in April, and a group of mentors. We kind of took them and set them apart from the others up on a flat surface, and we just started from the beginning on how to balance on your bike, how to come up to a stop sign and brake, and how to shift, and my Garmin watch was going crazy because they'd never seen me have that many steps before in a short period of time. I was running behind someone trying to balance them, and it's cool. And I think I know the young gal you're talking about. She ended up being one of our most solid riders.
Yeah.
Strong rider. She was very articulate and a very, very good spokesman for the Dream Team when she was out on RAGBRAI, and she signed up to come back this year. So we're looking forward to it.
That's good. And it's everything that you explained, it worked because,
Yeah.
she learned a new skill. She learned a lot about herself, and now she's coming back to teach others. So that is awesome.
Yeah. And along that, you talked about the other youth kind of encouraging them. That's a skill that's hard to teach, but it happens. And our older riders, they come along, these new youth, and they remember the time that they struggled and needed some encouragement and help. And they take pride in helping their teammates be very solid riders and very safe. And they help them call out and make sure that they are safe out there and the other riders are safe. So that's neat to see our older riders helping our young riders as well.
Yes. And that goes back to my other tiny story I wanted to share about experienced riders. I was having lunch in a neighboring state in just a random restaurant, and I was wearing a RAGBRAI sweatshirt, and one of the guys working actually came over to say that he liked my sweatshirt and that he was a former Dream Teamer. And you would not believe, like, you could just feel the warmth coming from him. Like, I learned so much from that. And he was very proud to be a Dream Teamer.
Oh, wow. That is cool. I came up to you and tell you that.
Yeah.
Another something similar to that, we have leadership meetings once a month. And we just had our leadership meeting Sunday, and we had a former Dream Team mentor pass away here in the last couple of weeks. He rode in 2004 or 8, way before my time. But at the funeral, a former Dream Team youth was there, and this youth is now married and has their own family. But he was recalling all the memories he had about that mentor and how they impacted his life. He was talking to the family about what he learned and the encouragement and the support and the sense of connectivity or connectedness that he had with just everyone. So that was a moving story, and it's cool to see what the team does and impacts youth.
Yeah. And it's been going on for a long time. I know you had a big anniversary last year, but do you want to maybe give the listeners a little idea of the partnership with RAGBRAI, which kind of goes back to how it started?
Yeah. So you're right. We had our 25th anniversary last year. So we are entering into our 26th season this year, which is amazing. It started back in 1996. A small group of bike enthusiasts led by Jim Greenie. Everybody knows as Greenie, from RAGBRAI and Bike World and Riverfront YMCA. They just kind of wanted to help the youth in the Des Moines area experience RAGBRAI and give them that unique opportunity to do something they may not otherwise get the opportunity to do. So then in 1997, the first team of Dream Team went across the state on RAGBRAI. Yeah, RAGBRAI kind of was instrumental in founding Dream Team. I was thinking about that and thinking about RAGBRAI. It's kind of cool. RAGBRAI is kind of like Dream Team's older brother.
Yeah.
Kind of look at it that way. RAGBRAI knows it's the reward. It's the goal the youth set for themselves in early February when we start onboarding the youth. So it knows its reward. So when the youth finally make it to RAGBRAI after a long season, RAGBRAI wants to take care of them, make sure the kids are treated like royalty out there. So as a big brother, they look after Dream Team during the week to help us find campsites. And luckily the campsites are close to showers. That's always a positive.
Mm-hmm.
They help us with unforeseen problems. Weather rolls in or something, RAGBRAI's right there. So they just want to take care of us. So we got a strong partnership with RAGBRAI. We appreciate everything they do. And then, Dream Team is helping RAGBRAI out as well, because even though we're a mentorship program, we're also training the next generation of bicyclists and developing a love for biking and community and RAGBRAI and all the experiences that go along with that.
Oh, definitely. And there is, I know you can look it up on RAGBRAI, either social media or maybe even the website, but seeing all the Dream Team and their mentors come in to the river at the very last day of RAGBRAI is really emotional to see everybody wearing their jerseys, and they're so excited that they've made it across the state. And I know that Dream Team is way more than that moment, but wow, for people lucky enough to be there when it happens, it's very moving.
It is. Yeah, we come in 2x2 in formation, all decked out in our official Dream Team jersey, saying our little chant. People can hear us coming from a long ways away. And last year, Matt Pippin, he about halfway to the dip site, he started leading us in on his RAGBRAI car with the lights of flashing.
Nice.
And got there, and then Matt took the time with all the other chaos going on and greeted and congratulated every single one of our youth as they rolled in 2x2 and stood there. There's a photo out there of him doing that somewhere. And the impact on the youth, and then the pride the youth are feeling, going, I just accomplished something that I didn't think I ever could.
Mm-hmm.
I've struggled in school, I've struggled at home, I've struggled with whatever it might be. But back in March, I set a big goal, and I dreamed really big, and I just accomplished it.
Yeah.
And to be part of that, and to witness that, like you said, it's moving.
Yes, definitely. And speaking of connections to RAGBRAI, RAGBRAI's headquartered in Des Moines, and so is the Dream Team.
Yeah.
And you guys are kind of merging. You've got a new home base this year, right?
Oh, you're letting I guess it's not a secret anymore, because we kind of announced that
Nope.
at the anniversary party. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a new home base, and we're excited. But before we kind of go into that, I want to throw out a big shout out, a big thank you to Dot Dash Meredith. They have a warehouse. We've named it 307, the 307, and they cleaned out a space for us. They showed us hospitality. They let us park there. And over the last 4 or 5, 6 years, they've helped keep Dream Team together and gave us a place. Mm-hmm. But this year, RAGBRAI, they got a new home. We've already got it named the 501. It's down on 501 Scott Avenue here in Des Moines. And so we've already got it named 501. And we have a warehouse, or a little corner in their warehouse. I shouldn't say little. It's basically doubling the size that we currently have.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're up to 1,600, 1,800 square feet. It is going to allow us to spread out our bike repair area, our support area. We won't have to have bikes packed on top of bikes trying to get them crammed in and out, So we are really excited for this new area. It's close to all the trails that we ride. Mm-hmm. So we might have to go a block or two, and then we're on the trails to take off on our rides. And a little secret, need everybody to stay tuned and follow us on Facebook on Dream Team Des Moines. There's going to be a ribbon cutting ceremony coming up here in a couple months. Consider this your invite, Murph.
Okay.
We want you there. I don't know when it is, though. I got a good idea when it's going to be, but I got to get some clarification before I put it all out there. But it will be before we launch our first outdoor training. So be looking for a big ceremony of ribbon cutting of Dream Team's new headquarters.
Excellent. And you said Dream Team Des Moines is the Facebook page, right?
Yeah, Dream Team Des Moines.
I love it. I will try my hardest to be there. I'm excited for you.
You bet.
Yeah. Okay, so you are the new executive director since August of last year. And so you'll have a new team of Dream Teamers, probably new mentors. Can you give us, like, maybe a brief synopsis of your experiences before becoming executive director? And then also what you have planned for this year?
Yeah. I'm starting my 6th year with Dream Team.
Oh, okay.
So, the first year on Dream Team, I started out as support, and wow. I just want to shout out to our support mentors who run our support crew. That was a lot of work trying to keep the youth and team fed, moving equipment from our launch point to turnarounds, campouts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work keeping the team going down the road. So I decided that wasn't for me. So I started riding. and the writing changed me. We already talked about, the 8 youth or so that couldn't ride, and then seeing them ride and get stronger and stronger throughout the year, and then finish RAGBRAI. I had a young man's dad come up and talk to me last year, and as we all have birthday parties growing up and everything, and he said, for my son's 15th birthday, this was the first time he had asked to have friends over.
Oh.
Because Dream Team had given him the confidence to know that he was okay and that people liked him.
Wow.
And that he had something to contribute. And you talk about a heartwarming feel, knowing this youth had the confidence to have some friends over for the first time. That was just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a quick experience of Dream Team.
Mm-hmm.
There's some mentor stories out there. These youth, they'll get the hooks into you. We have one mentor, life's always changing. She had to move out to Ohio, and we talked, and she said, Jeff, I miss the Dream Team. So I said, come back and be a mentor. And we kind of laughed about that from Ohio. But last year, she made 50%, which what we ask of our mentors, to make 50% of her training rides. She drove back from Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's coming back this year.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
So yeah, I mean, it's amazing. She's great, and I'm glad she is. The youth love her, and she puts miles on her car, though. So
it just goes to show you that the Dream Team is so much more than just the bicycle.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about RAGBRAI and everything, and RAGBRAI is great, but gotta remember, RAGBRAI is the goal, the reward for all the hard work that they put in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the youth they've never had to set a goal like that, or they've never dreamed they could accomplish something that big, so to see them accomplish something, there's time, talking about driving back from Ohio and stuff, there's times I show up to training practice, and I've talked to other mentors, same thing. We don't want to ride,
Sure.
Long day of work in the corporate world or whatever, and you're tired or the weather's just not right. But you get there and you see the smiles on these kids' faces, and they're laughing and they're teasing each other as they pump up the tires and put water in their water bottles. It changes your whole attitude. There's not many guarantees in life, Murph, but if you're a mentor with Dream Team,
mm-hmm.
and you really pour your life into these youth, they will change. They'll change you as well.
Oh,
So that's
wow. Yeah.
So I think you also asked me about what my plans are.
Yeah, for RAGBRAI 50, it's going to be
Right.
a big year for everyone who does RAGBRAI, but I'm assuming the Dream Team will probably have a few extra things happening too.
Yeah, we're going to have a few extra things. As I kind of said, we treat Dream Team as a family. And then in August, we have a celebration banquet after Dream Team is over to celebrate our successes and stuff. And then it's kind of done until March of the following year.
Mm-hmm.
With that family mentality, just a little bit, that the youth start missing us. So this year, we started having some optional rides for them. We rode the RAGBRAI's Fall Ride, and half our team showed up for that. We've had Ugly's Christmas sweater party and some other parties for them. So that's one thing that's kind of new, that we're really solidifying this family feel and everything. But for the 26th season of Dream Team and the 50th season of RAGBRAI, we have set a large goal of 50 youth, 50 mentors for RAGBRAI's 50th.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We are up over 50 youth now. I think I just got an email or so right before you called me and sent out some information to a youth. That put us at about 52 youth. We're currently at 35, 40 mentors. Still could use another dozen mentors or so, but we're going to get there for the 50, and then we're off and running for the 50, 50, 50 this year.
Yeah.
And we're excited. We're excited.
That's awesome. Okay, so it sounds like, you're pretty set as far as the youth goes. So can we talk a little bit more about like the mentors? Like, what exactly, what kind of trainings involved? What do you do with the kids? Like, what are the mentors' responsibilities?
Yeah. The mentors, first and foremost, you gotta love kids. Our kids are ages 13 through 18.
Mm-hmm.
They come to us with some sort of professional referral from a counselor, therapist, or someone along those lines. So you have to have some patience, with youth. You gotta love biking, because we use a bicycle as our instrument there. But beyond that, just be ready to have a whole lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So the training, we start our onboarding. We're ready to start our onboarding of youth here in February. And that's where we start teaching our youth, telling our youth about their goal. And the goal is RAGBRAI, and we're going to have them work hard. Our youth will have between 1,000 and 1,500 miles on their bikes by the time they hit RAGBRAI.
Unbelievable. So, that is just fabulous.
We put a lot of miles in.
Yeah.
We want to be prepared for RAGBRAI, and then we just help them dream big. So that's kind of how February works. And then in March, we start some indoor training at the Y. We meet on Mondays and Thursdays from 7 to 8:30. We do some spin classes, cardio, and some team building. But it's primarily about learning to getting to know the team, getting to know one another. Inevitably, there's always some youth out there that wants to challenge the mentors to a tug of war contest or something like that. And like I said, I've been on the team 6 years, and I don't ever remember winning a tug of war contest against the I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm just not winning the tug of war. So so we do that, and then we head out outdoors in April. We ride Mondays, Thursdays from 5 to dark, and then Saturdays are our longer rides. We start about 8 and go to noon, 2 o'clock, or until the ride's over. Our April rides, they're shorter. So we want to start building some confidence in our youth, and getting them familiar with the bike and the community and the surroundings. So we may pop out on what is known as the Carl Voss Trail around Des Moines area and head out to Easter Lake, or we may head up on the Great Western Trail up to Cummings, and that's our turnaround, and just ride that a couple times and really get comfortable on the bike. And then we hit May. Any good cyclists know that when you have hills that have names on them, they're a big bad hill. So we start out on some more longer hills, and we got one trail that heads up. It's the Neil Smith Trail, heads up to Saylorville Lake, Cherry Glen, and it's the Dam Hill. It's got 7% grade on it, or a little over that. Our youth don't see it coming, and all of a sudden we hit it and we head up it. and we got a Sleepy Hollow route, the Sleepy Hollow Hill. We got a White Church Hill. We got a Soccer Bomb Hill. The Soccer Bomb Hill, that's the one that you rode with us.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
that was the one that coming. We take a little detour, go around the Walnut Woods, and then we hit the Soccer Bomb Hills. And so we start preparing for anything that RAGBRAI could potentially throw at us.
Mm-hmm.
So mentors, they just encourage the youth along the way. We help the youth get to the top of the hill. We tell them, hey, just keep pedaling one pedal at a time. We'll get there. Um,
And you have to, at least I'm thinking about this while I'm listening to you. You know, all of us that have done RAGBRAI before, you learn pretty quick in your week whether or not you have done the right training. And there's no way around it. I mean, you either train or you don't. So to think about when I was 15 years old, I don't know that I would have had the discipline to train for 5 months for RAGBRAI. So I can see how having a mentor, somebody who's like minded, likes biking, you know, has a great attitude, would make or break someone.
yeah, our mentors are key into keeping these youth motivated and encouraged. Um, we we develop really close relationships with them.
Mm-hmm.
We write in groups of a couple mentors to 3 or 4 youth, and we begin to talk about anything and everything. We have one youth; she has an interest in forensic science.
Mm.
We start talking about forensic science and the shows on TV, and then all of a sudden you start talking about the roadkill alongside the road and wondering what state of decomposition that roadkill is in, you know. So you got to be able to talk a wide variety of stuff and just be patient with the youth. We develop a safe family around them, and our mentors. That's one thing we haven't or haven't I failed to mention or haven't mentioned yet. We've been here 26 years, Dream Team, and we're a 100% volunteer-based organization.
That's amazing.
So our mentors are all volunteer. They're the greatest mentors there are
Mm.
out there, I believe. I may be biased, but I don't think so. They give approximately 150, 200 hours of their time throughout our 5 month season to invest into these youth
Mm.
and to help them get over these hills or these hot days, whatever. Last year, I think we rode in some hail, got caught out in a hailstorm once. So that's what a mentor does for us and does for the team and does primarily for the youth.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing that it's a volunteer. The whole organization is volunteer based. Like, that's hard to grasp. But I will say, you know, kind of to piggyback onto that. So let's just say somebody out there listening is really motivated, like, wow, I want to be part of the dream team, but maybe they don't have the hours to devote. I'm assuming that you have a way for people to actually donate financially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have a way for people to donate financially. If they go to our website, www.dreamteamdesmoines, all one word, .org. That's our website page. There's a donate button there that they can get online to donate.
Mm-hmm.
They can search us out on Venmo, Dream Team Des Moines, or on PayPal. So there's multiple ways that people can donate financially.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And then if
we're
they do have time and they want to commit to it, what's the process to maybe try to become a mentor?
Yeah, get to dreamteamdesmoines.org, our website page. Our email address is out there, info@dreamteamdesmoines. Shoot us an email and say you're interested in becoming a mentor. We will get back in contact with you. We're going to have a Dream Team Mentor informational meeting coming up here the first part of February.
Okay.
After that, we will have a full commitment meeting where we go more in depth in the season so they can learn more about the team that way.
And if you live in Ohio, you could maybe carpool.
You could carpool that ride shorter. That is right.
Yes.
You could also, you know, they could also look us up at the Bike Expo. We're going to be at the Bike Expo.
Okay. And
we're up here at the end of the month.
yep, that's January 28th. And the
Okay.
Bike Expo is free to attend. And so I'm assuming you'll have a booth there?
Yeah. We're going to have a booth presence there. We're going to have mentors. We're going to have some youth there. We're going to have some fun giveaways. We're going to have a quiz where people can sign up for a chance to win some Bike World gift cards.
Cool.
So we got some really cool things planned at our booth, and would love for people to stop by and say hi and learn all about the Dream Team.
Excellent. And then everyone hopefully knows this by now if they're listening to this podcast, that during the day is the Bike Expo, and that's held by the Iowa Bicycle Coalition. And then that night is when we all find out RAGBRAI 50's route. So will you be represented at that event as well?
Yeah. We're going to have a couple tables there. So we're going to have some Dream Team mentors wandering around that route announcement party. Look us up. Say hi, find out more about Dream Team. We would love to have you as a mentor. It's going to be an epic season. It's going to be awesome.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to add? Maybe something to help us remember Dream Team?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thanks for having me. It's been fun. Before you started recording, I kind of told you this is my first podcast.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. It's been interesting. So thanks for helping me along through the questions and everything. I've enjoyed it.
Awesome.
But I guess I want to leave everybody with some soon to be very famous quotes by some Dream Team youth.
Okay.
And how the team has changed their lives. So I'm just going to kind of roll through some here. It gives me a passion for writing. It has changed my life by me writing for the first time to make me feel good. Dream Team is very supportive. It helps me feel confident in myself. It's taught me how to keep trying and trying, even though I want to quit. I've gotten much better shape, and I've made a lot of new friends. It's helped me mature and be a better person. Dream Team has given me a fun activity to take part in, and has given me many friends. And finally, Dream Team has helped me become more confident in myself and in what I do, knowing when to ask for help and when not to be shy. So
I absolutely love it. And I bet you, those quotes were from the youth, but I would almost guess a few of your mentors could say some of the same things.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Jeff, Executive Director of the Dream Team, thanks for coming on the podcast. And I look forward to any and everything that I see about the Dream Team going forward.
Awesome. Again, thanks, Murph. And you're invited to ride with us again. We appreciate you.
Awesome. And I'll see you at the Bike Expo in Des Moines.
Yes, you will.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Well, listeners, that is it for this week. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to the Just Go Bike podcast.
And if you'd like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com, or you can also follow us on social media at Just Go Bike on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan. And if you have any extra time, pop on over to the Murphology podcast for more bike adventure interviews.
All right, that's a wrap. We'll be back next week. Until then, just go bike!